Hello, and welcome to Recent Activity, your new favorite entertainment review podcast that attempts to cover every film, every show, all at once. I am your co-host, Andrew Morgan. With me, as always, is a man voted most popular in his high school yearbook, Mr. Shane Beauregard. How are you, sir?
Maybe that was the problem I had in high school then, if that's what I was voted as.
Yes. I forgot you went to that all-Jesuit school that out in... wherever the hell you are. You were in Hamden, right? I don't know why I would put you like geotag you or whatever, but
Hamden.
Yeah. Good to see you, sir. Happy New Year to you. Feliz Año Nuevo, Mekalekahai, Mekahaini Ho, whatever people say these days. I don't know what's appropriate, but good to see you. We also have, for this very special episode that we are doing today, the 2024 movie draft, which is always fun. We did the 2023 one last year with our friend Stu from Stu World Order, and he is back, baby, and here to hopefully do worse than us because I have a big ego. So, but I just needed someone to fill out the roster, it's something to do that.
That's a great introduction for me. Someone to fill out the roster.
That's right. How are you, sir? Good to see you.
I am well, thank you. Glad to hear you're doing a little bit better today than what you have been the last few, anyway.
Sure, yeah. The cold is always present. It's omnipresent. It's just going to be here forever. It will be here until my episode that I did with you comes out in Q2 of this year, I believe. So, we'll just re-record it again and I'll sound the exact same way. So it's never ending. But I'm glad to see you're doing well. I know you had everybody's been having some kind of illness going from the holiday block into now the new year. So good to see you are up well and bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, whatever we want to say.
I am perfectly recovered, so thank you so much for that.
I know last year, we mentioned this off air, but you usually tabulate your own best of lists. And last year, I know it kind of coincided with the draft that we did last year. So it was good. You had everything nice and fresh. But now that you kind of are looking at this before, you've now published your new end of the year list, how do you see this year as a whole? Because Shane and I have been saying for almost all year long, we kind of just check in with each other and go, is this a good year? Or is it, and obviously now that we're putting these in categories and everything, maybe it'll be a little better. But what did you think of this year? Because you watch a lot of movies like we do.
I do. I watched 111 movies that came out in 2024. And it was an odd year. It's the first year in the last several, I think since 2020 when there were barely any movies.
Right.
But it's the first year that I didn't have a 5-star movie this year. I didn't give anything that came out this year 5 stars. I had, I want to say 2 or 3 4.5-star movies.
Right.
So it was not very heavy at the top is the problem. And then I think from 5 through 20, you've got a lot of really good, great movies.
Yeah.
And then it kind of drops off again after that. Because I'm doing, for the website SWO Productions.com, I'm doing my top 30 movies on the year.
Right.
And I'm breaking it up 10 at a time. And when I did the part of the list that was number 30 through number 21, there were movies on there that I was like, this is really making my top 30, huh?
Right.
All
right.
This is where we are with 2024. But yeah, certainly not heavy at the top. I don't know how you guys finished on the year, but yeah, no 5-star movies for me, which I think I had 2 or 3 last year, 2 or 3 the year before. Just none this year. Nothing came out that just floored me and entered the conversation for my favorites ever.
I think we were in the same boat, Andrew. We had, at least I had 1 5-star and 2 4.5s. And everything, it felt like everything we reviewed was 3.5.
Yeah.
And it seemed to be the nice fall period for every picture. Like you said, a bunch of good films, but not really great films.
Yeah, a lot of solid stuff. It's so weird because watching the Golden Globes last night, it just didn't even seem like the same year I watched. And I'm sure a lot of people feel that way. Award season is always, it's kind of its own thing. But usually it can kind of at least give me a part of the year that I could be like, this is the year in movies. And last night, as I saw The Brutalist, a movie that has not gone wide across the nation, and Emilia Perez, a musical in a foreign language, win multiple awards, I'm like, this is what this year was. And I think the Oscars will tell a little bit of a different tale, but man, that just shows you how weird and spread out this year was. I'm sure the voting for all those was close. It wasn't like some landslide thing. You could feel it in the room. But yeah, there's no consensus this year. And that's why I think this draft will be interesting. Shane and I, the beauty of you being here, Stu, is that Shane and I, we kind of see it every week. We're kind of two in lockstep with our opinions that maybe, outside of an errant Frank Grillo movie or something, which
I'll watch it.
Which Stu, no, you don't have to yell at me, dude. Stu put out his feelings on werewolves online. So I'm like, okay, is Stu going to show up or is this going to be a fight or what are we doing? So yeah, we'll see. I'm sure I love bringing in new blood all the time, especially if we're doing drafts, because I love seeing these opinions. But I also love having someone like Shane, who I know we see eye to eye in a lot of movies, just seeing him get really mad when I take something and vice versa. So that's why these drafts are way cooler than doing just top fives, because I think we'd be just dipping too much in the same pool. So I dig this format a little bit better. You feeling better about it, Stu, than last year? Or are you feeling like, because you're saying with less maybe talent at the top that maybe there's less like, oh, I need to get this? Or is there an anxiety about the categories?
There's an anxiety about a couple of the categories, absolutely. There are some categories that I look at and go like, well, this is stacked, because I think it was a great year for horror. I don't think it was a great year for movies overall, but a great year for horror this past year.
Right.
The awards contender, like, I'm going to be taking something in awards contender that I'm sure I could have gotten in another part of the list just so I can get my awards contender cleared off. Because like you said with the Golden Globes, there's a ton of stuff I haven't seen yet. Or that maybe that I just didn't like that much. But yeah, and the other problem I run into is I watched a lot of screeners this year for like low budget independent movies that I really liked.
Right.
And I'm going to be tempted to draft one or two of those that are just not going to be anywhere on your radar. And it's going to be pointless for me to take.
Well, it'll kind of coincide with what you did last year, where it was like the one anime movie that you really loved that we didn't see. That it was like, what was it? Your Name? What was the one from last year?
Suzume was last year.
Suzume. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I knew
same guy that did Your Name.
Okay, there you go. But I'm just like, yeah, there's gonna be something out there that like from all of us is gonna be like, no, I didn't see that. I have no idea what you're saying. So it'll be interesting, especially once we get to wild card. You know, it's like that'll be an interesting to see where you have to pivot and where the depth is. So that'll be cool. You guys ready to rock and roll?
Yep, let's do it.
Absolutely.
All right. And again, I always have to like preface this whenever I get first pick. I did a random order generator. I sent a screenshot that I completely doctored where I got first pick. But I just wanted you guys to know I put in the effort to cheat you guys. So that's good.
Yeah.
So the order is it's a snake draft. It's myself, Shane, then Stu. For this draft, we will be drafting into the categories of blockbuster, that is movies that made over $100 million domestically this year. We have awards contender, as we were kind of noting. These are films that were nominated for, say, the Golden Globes or the Critics' Choice Awards, especially as we are pre-Oscar nomination. That's kind of the best we could do with kind of wrangling those in. Comedy, horror, sci-fi, animated or comic book movie, streaming original, and wild card. So it should be a fun time. Like I said, not too heavy on certain categories. I am going to kick us off here. I think having Dune Part 2 and Blockbuster is where I'm going to go first. And I don't know what Stu's feelings on it. This was our shared, Shane and I's 5-star movie. We absolutely love this. And this, again, I will tell for the audience, for you, Stu, whatever, I was not in love with the first Dune. I was apprehensive about seeing Dune Part 2, and I think this movie was just unassailable. Like, this movie was so entertaining, the most stacked of stacked casts. I thought the stakes were way higher in this movie than before. the additions of like Austin Butler or Florence Pugh or, Anya Taylor-Joy, TBD a little bit because it's only kind of a small part, but like there's so much of this depth of young talent mixed in with like the old guard that is also in here, like your Christopher Walkens or your Javier Bardems or, the list goes on and on. The cast is unbelievably stacked, like I noted. But yeah, this was my only 5-star movie of the year. I have zero idea why this is not a major awards contender and couldn't challenge, say, the fucking Brutalist last night in the Golden Globes. But I absolutely love this movie, and that is what I'm choosing in Blockbuster. So, Shane, you are up next.
Yeah,
and
right.
sorry for taking that one. Yeah,
yeah, you did. You screwed me out of my awards category because, as I noted, that's one of my weakest categories because I'm more of a Razzie guy than a Golden Globes guy. So
that's right.
Are
you hosting this year?
I didn't get the call yet, but I'm always ready to host the Razzies.
It's true. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go with my other weakest category of the year, and as much as I want to nominate Aaron Taylor Johnson with his ripped physique and abs for Craven. I'm going to bypass that, and I'm going to go with Wild Robot in my animated movie of the year.
You little saucy bitch. Okay.
Yeah, I just have to do it. Again, I haven't seen too many, but that one we both agreed we really enjoyed. I liked the story of it, and so I'm going to poach that before one of my few animated films. And apologies to Aaron Taylor Johnson. I'm going with Wild Robot is my animated film.
Nice. Yeah, not a dry eye in the house. When I saw that one, it is my favorite animated film of the year as well. So you suck for that. I saw that with my children in a room full of children. My son's third grade teacher rented out the theater. So it was like they were reading the book. They were super jazzed. It was like the perfect environment. And it's such a parent movie that it rips out the heartstrings. I love it. Stu, did you check that one out?
I did. So you guys are both saying that each of your number one movie of the year was Dune 2.
Correct.
Okay, well, this will be my spoiler. My number one movie of the year was The Wild Robot. So we got all of our number one movies went off the board in the first two picks.
Nice.
Excellent. Yeah. No, it's awesome, man. And yeah, it's tough. I know you're a big animation guy, so that's good.
Yeah.
Too.
I definitely loved it.
Yeah, I shouldn't start going into deeper field. You're still picking, so I'll save those conversations for later. But I'm glad you're on board with the Wild Robot crew.
Oh, 100%, yes.
Yeah. All right, Stu, you're up.
All right, I mentioned the awards contender category and how much trouble I was going to have with that, so I'm going to knock that right off of everything here. I'm getting my awards contender first thing off. This could have gone in Blockbuster. It could have gone... I guess it could only have otherwise gone in Blockbuster or Wild Card, but I am going to take Wicked.
Okay.
Well, it's nice having you on the show, Stu. So
we don't like Wicked?
Well, Shane that's a bridge too far. He won't even see it. So I at least saw it. It's not for me. I'll put it that way. I was very baffled as to why it was like this big phenomenon, especially now that it's like, the book, the play, the Broadway play and Broadway musical, and then now this. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to yuck anyone's yum, but it's just not for me. But what did it do for you?
I was a fan of it. I like all the songs. I think all the songs were impressive. I've heard, and from what I know about Wicked, I've never seen the musical, but every single song I know from the musical Wicked takes place in part one. So I have no idea what songs are in part two of this damn movie.
I've heard that too, where they put the stacked, like the big ones all in the first part.
Like Defying Gravity, I knew. Popular, I knew. No One Mourns the Wicked, I knew. Those are all from part one, so I have no idea what songs are left to play in part two. But I really enjoyed it. I thought Ariana Grande, of all people, put forth a really good performance. I love Cynthia Erivo in this. I thought she was really strong. And I don't know, it worked for me. I mean, for being as long as it is, a lot of it could have been cut, but I see why it's as long as it is, so they can establish all the characters and do everything they needed to do. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Grande is the best part. I was actually shocked that she didn't win last night, but it kind of set the stage for, the big Amelia Perez night that was to come. So, and Zoe Saldana is very much worthy as well. But I was shocked just based on the popularity and where that award show in the past usually goes, and even critically, nationwide. It's not like this movie that's just popular with the fans or something. It's kind of like growing in interest. So it's good, man. It's good for you. I know a lot of people who love it, so like I said, I won't knock anything down. It's just, it's not for me, but what is for you is your next pick, sir. So go for it.
I know what I want. I just don't know what category to put it in. I guess there's only 2 other movies left in one category, and I worry if I take one of these movies in another category, it's going to be a problem. So I will go with animated and comic book, and I will take Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay. Speak on it, sir. One of the biggest movies of the year, as far as box office is concerned. A return for Marvel and Disney, at least box office wise. What were your feelings on this? We just covered Deadpool, so you and I talked about this extensively. But for the audience, bring out all your Deadpool Wolverine feelings.
So this movie's essentially junk food, the movie, and I have no problem with that because I like to sit around and just eat candy all day. So I have no problem, but This movie is just guest spots. It's just callbacks. It's just humorous references, and I got a kick out of it. I ended up seeing it twice because I saw it the first time it came out with my wife, and then I think the second weekend it was out, my aunt and uncle wanted to see it, and they invited us to go see it with them. So I saw it twice in theaters. It made me laugh both times. I like what they did with it. I wish it would have more long-term impact on the MCU because you come out of this movie at the end and nothing has changed. You keep waiting for the MCU movie that's going to change everything, and this one wasn't it either. So I feel like the MCU's in kind of a shit or get off the pot status right now, but that doesn't change how much I enjoyed watching the movie.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to wait for Secret Wars officially, I guess, to rattle the cage.
But I feel like they aren't even setting that up yet. And I feel like that's where we are now, is we're all going to say like, oh, well, I guess Fantastic Four is going to be the movie that really starts setting up Doomsday and Secret Wars, but maybe it won't even. So what do I know?
We'll see. I mean, every time, you feel like you got to shake on where the MCU is going, I feel like they go some other way. I didn't fully buy in, and I'm kind of glad they pivoted from Kang. So at least, we can move up the timeline. We all knew 2025 was the big year of like, oh, they can get X-Men in the fold. That finally they can get Fantastic Four in the fold. So it all is getting to where we wanted it to be anyway. It's probably they just had to move up their timeline. But I agree with you. Like, Deadpool and Wolverine was just fun. Like a lot of moments, like it brought in a lot of older characters. It had just a lot of fun, and the chemistry between Jackman and Reynolds is undeniable. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, you can tell they're like really good friends in real life, the way they played off each other here. Yeah. Yeah,
they've been doing that bit forever. So, it's nice to actually get it through. But again, one of those movies, once you knew that, or you thought that was coming, you're like, oh man, here comes X-23 stuff. We're going to get Deadpool and all that. None of it happened. It was just, let's write this joke-a-thon. And again, I'm not angry at it. But I just, I wish it had a little bit more of a plot, but you're right. It's kind of like, let's just dip into something where we can let them cook and then jump out. And then we can go from there because, I'm sure Jackman doesn't want to keep doing this,
At least 90.
Yeah, exactly. So and I'm glad they made the obvious jokes and the observations that we were all thinking while having fun. It's great. And, it's nice to see X-23 back. It's cool to see the Channing Tatums of the world, the Gambit stuff and everything. So, and even like for them to be self-effacing while being in the MCU now, while making a Blade joke is amazing. So like there was a lot to where it was a good time. It's pretty darn messy, so it's not like a top 25 of the year for me, but it was still a fun time while going. So Shane, you are up, sir, for your second pick.
Okay, so Stu just snaked my pick. So I'll bump off to the other weak category of the year, which this seems to be the trend for like the last, 5, 10, 15 years, is the comedy grouping, because long, and we discussed this last year, but long there are no more like
Studio
good old
comedies?
classic
Yeah.
studio comedies. They're all highbrow. Oh, look how smart I am, and dry
Right.
jokes and fucking artsy comedy films. So,
Right.
and I know that's kind of whatever, but I'm gonna go and give some love to one of my favorite films of the year, and this was enough of a comedy for me, and that is Thelma.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Really enjoyed this film. It's I forgot where you could watch it now, but I actually saw it in the theater. It was out for like a week, and I saw it, and I loved it. It was funny, it was poignant. It brings up some emotion. It's more layered than you would think, still being funny. So I love the cast in this movie as well. And just to give you a glimpse of what else I had down for my comedies was fucking Fall Guy and Dee Dee. That's all I had written down for my comedy section. So you talk about a weak year for comedies coming out the studios. This is it. So I'm giving some love. Thelma's my pick. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's worthwhile.
So when you say Stu stole your pick, did he take that from you for animated comic book, or were you going to try to put Deadpool Wolverine in comedy?
I was going to try to pick it in Blockbuster and just knock that out of the way.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So, whatever. It gives Godzilla some hope. So let's see.
Excellent. Thelma, I believe, is on Hulu.
It's on Hulu, yep.
And it was a Sundance film from 2024, early 2024. So good on you, man. A lot of stuff that we've always, we always marvel at, like how many movies end up coming out of Sundance. That it's like, wow, they had like a really good crop this year. And we've been saying that probably for the last few years pretty routinely. So good on them for that. So I am up with 2 picks. Oof. Yeah, I guess because, oh man. Yeah, there's a lot of options in certain categories. I think so. I am going to go in awards contender.
Ooh.
And I am going to pick challengers.
Oh, you fucker.
I know.
You
Well, hey, buddy, that was for Wild Robot. We all are going to come back and get you.
Bitch.
This is arguably, I believe this is still my number 2. So getting my 1 and 2 is pretty hot right now. I'm feeling good in my downstairs for that one because this is an excellent movie. I have another one of those like, yeah, it's an awards contender, but basically only for like Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross's score, and not enough for me with Zendaya's performance and Josh O'Connor. Like, there's so many good people in here, and the story is incredible for a director like Luca Guadagnino, who you wouldn't expect to make a good sports movie. You can feel him make like an excellent drama, but to like combine all those efforts and get the stacked cast that they do, I was riveted the whole time, and I was just like, pumping my fists listening to Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. It's like this big beat, loud as hell score that you never really see in a movie. And I thought even like the tennis was good for being, not a traditional sports director who's never really covered this stuff before. Everybody was great. I really like this movie, and it's aged really well as the year has gone on. Because as Shane and I keep remarking, Challengers was like March. Dune was March. Like, we are so high on these movies, and we were just waiting. All right, man, if it's going to start this hot, wait until they get knocked down a peg. And they just never did. So kudos to them for me getting my 1 and 2. I'm very happy with that. Did you check out Challengers, Stu?
No, I didn't have any interest in it. It just looked kind of whatever to me, so I never got around to watching it. I didn't really care about 2 brothers kissing each other or whatever the trailer seems to show.
That's like one scene, but yeah, there's tension throughout, but yeah.
I will say, Stu, I was in the same boat you were, because Andrew reviewed it on the show, and I was like, yeah, it looks okay, but I wasn't drawn to it. And one weekend I saw it, and I was like, you know what? It's a good movie. Like, it's in just outside my top 5 of the year. Like, I really enjoyed this movie, and I agreed with Andrew. Like, it should be getting more talk as the year went along, and it just never did.
Yeah, and again, I haven't seen Queer, but I don't know if it's because there's 2 Luca Guadagnino movies in the same year, whether that separates things, or just the simple fact that it came out so early. but god damn it, this is being overlooked in a tragic way. But I'll be glad to take it here and give it its championship moment for this one here. And it did win last night, by the way. It won for that score, so good on them for being a Golden Globe winner movie with challengers. All right, so this is me again. Woof. Man, I am going to probably piss Shane off.
Don't do it again.
Yeah.
I know where you're going. Don't do it.
I think I have to.
Don't.
Hey, man, this is why people rig the order, you son of a bitch.
I see.
Yeah.
I know. I'm doing the order next year.
You got it, man. Step right up, baby. I am going to go in horror sci-fi.
Oh, God damn it.
And I'm going to pick Nosferatu.
Okay.
Because, again, this was, I believe, I'd have to double check my notes. I think this is 3 or 4, at least. It's somewhere in, I'm getting all my babies. I'm very happy with this so far. Nosferatu, we covered this, what was it?
Last week?
Yeah, on the podcast. By far the best movie of the Christmas corridor between that, A Complete Unknown, and Baby Girl for what I caught, and then Shane reviewed A Fire Inside? What is it? Yeah.
Yeah, Fire Inside.
Yeah. I love this movie. Like, and we talked, Shane borderline hates Robert Eggers.
I hate him.
I'm not the biggest fan of Robert Eggers. I always put that caveat out there. I have not seen The Witch. It's a blind spot for me, but I've seen everything else. And he's always been like stylish. His cinematography is great. His detail is excellent, but his stories are always either just too much for me or just don't have that drive that pushes me through a full movie for him. This movie just had it all. I was like, just the performance by Lily Rose Depp. I can only be challenged by how cool Bill Skarsgård's voice is. It's Count Orlok. With Shane, I didn't do it this time. I didn't ruin my voice by trying to do the Count Orlok. So. But the makeup, the cinematography, the voice work, the athletic performance from Lily Rose Depp, where she's just paralyzed by all this and knows what to do. The Willem Dafoe heat check by picking up cats left and right is just amazing. I had such a good time that I was really surprised considering my prior history with Eggers. And I'm on board for, as Shane noted, made a great point last week. Maybe the dude just needs a framework, something to work off of, because this seamlessly brought in the 1930s or 20s. Did we just establish that? I forget which year it was. Original
20s.
Nosferatu.
I think it was 22.
I believe so. I think that's what it was. Yeah. The original Nosferatu, the Bram Stoker's novel, and any kind of like stuff he could soak up in between with, the Tom Browning, Dracula, et cetera, et cetera. And the guy just has the lore down. You could tell it was a labor of love, and I was so into it. And shout out to Nicholas Hoult for just crushing the last month and a half of the year with, Juror Number 2, The Order, and Nosferatu all in one fell swoop. So good on him. Love Nosferatu. So Shane, you are up. Sorry to, kill your buzz.
Yeah, you killed it. Now I'm going to have to go crazy here. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Hey, no one said you couldn't pick those in between, you son of a bitch.
Oh, man. All right. So I'm going to save horror because you snatched that. So, okay.
Remember, it is horror sci-fi. Just want to put that out there.
I know. I'm going to save that now because that's probably the most depth I have in the categories here. So I'm going to go streaming original. And
oh no,
yeah, not a ton out there for me. There's 2 that I really loved. Well, 3, but 2 that I had to decide. So I'm going with Rebel Ridge.
Shit.
Yeah.
I was just gonna take that.
Yeah, sorry. This movie just for me kind of came out of nowhere. I saw the trailer for it. I was like, you know what, that looks pretty good. But being on Netflix, let's be real. I was like, it'll just be an average movie. And then I saw Jeremy Saulnier was directing it. Yeah. And I love The Green Room. The Green Room.
Yeah.
And I was blown away by this film. It's like I don't want to say Rambo light because you're expecting like a Reacher series or Rambo, but it's without all the extra violence and blood, and just the performances by Don Johnson and the lead here, Aaron Pierre.
Yeah.
Just captivating, man. Like he owned the screen in every single scene. And the writing was on point because you think it's just like this one note kind of movie, and then it kind of, with the corruption in the town, it actually adds depth to the story, which I wasn't expecting out of it. So yeah, big kudos to Rebel Ridge. And I'm sorry, Stu, for taking your movie.
Happens.
But I'm going Rebel Ridge for my streaming original.
Excellent. Yeah. You know I'm a fan. That one was high on my list when I did my top 5 Netflix original movies of the year for what's on Netflix.com. So check out that article and check out Rebel Ridge if you haven't. I have much love for Aaron Pierre now, like a guy who was not on my radar. Now I just want to see him in everything because he basically saved the day, because that movie was supposed to be originally John Boyega. They got into, messy production stuff, had to really kind of rush this movie, and boy, did they pull up probably one of the sleeper surprise hits of the year with Rebel Ridge. So good pick by you. Stu, you got 2, buddy.
I got 2. It turns out, as I'm looking over my list, I have a blockbuster to take, and I already have the 3rd highest grossing movie of the year, and I already have the 2nd highest grossing movie of the year. So we're going to go with the highest grossing movie of the year and take Inside Out 2.
There you go. Good for you, man. The populist. Who knew? Stu is just a man of the people.
Yeah, I just saw this recently. It was funny because I was putting off doing my top 30 movies of the year list until after I saw Nosferatu. Mm-hmm. But along the way, I saw Inside Out 2 on New Year's Eve, and it was so good. It's really, really entertaining, and just moments of this movie are just heart-wrenching. And I'm not going to say it's as heart-wrenching as The Wild Robot, because like I said, The Wild Robot was my number 1 movie of the year. Inside Out 2 is obviously a little bit lower than that, but I had such a fun time with this movie. It's so good, and it does what the first movie did, which usually I don't like in sequels, where it's joy and the other emotions running around Riley's brain, and you're encountering all these like jokes and everything about the inside of her brain. But just they put such care into the story that I didn't mind anyway. So I just had a good time with it and really enjoyed it. So yeah, I got the 3 highest grossing movies of the year. I don't know how that happened, but I'll take them.
I love how you're like, yeah, this is such a popular, made so much money, but I didn't fucking see that thing in the theaters. What's wrong with you? I saw this at home way late in the game.
It's the same reason I didn't see The Wild Robot in theaters, and it's the same reason I haven't seen Flow yet in theaters, is I don't want to cry in public.
Yeah.
It's okay to cry in public, buddy.
Yeah. I knew I was going to cry at The Wild Robot. I knew I was going to cry at Inside Out 2, and I suspect I will cry at Flow. So I'll just wait until I can watch these at home and cry in the privacy of my own home.
Yeah, it was such a tough... I couldn't find, like, the timing, let alone, like, I really wanted to convince my kids to go see Flow. But I'm like, all right, it has no dialogue. It's all animals. I don't know if it's, like, more upsetting than like a traditional like American animated film. So like I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna pull that one off, but I really want to see it. My daughter is in love with capybaras, and they finally have a capybara on screen. So I'm probably gonna end up seeing Flow, but yeah, I haven't caught that one yet too. It would have been nice for having that prep for today for sure, but it's not on home video yet, I don't believe.
No, it's still in theaters as far as I know. There's a chance I can talk my wife into seeing it this weekend, but if it's still in theaters this weekend, because it was this past weekend, I don't know if it'll still be there. But since it just won at the Golden Globes, it might sustain momentum at the theaters for a little bit, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah, have a nice resurgence for them, but there's so many theaters are still taken up by your Moana 2s and everybody else. So Sonic and Mufasa and whatever else. So it's still the Christmas corridor hitting strong on that one. Good pick by you, sir. I enjoyed that film as well. Let's see. So Shane, you are up again, sir.
I'm up
No,
again.
I think I'm up again.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was just your
pick.
first one. I apologize. Go for it, Stu. Sorry.
I'm looking at my list, and the fourth highest grossing movie of the year is Moana 2. I'm not going to take Moana 2 anywhere.
Good.
So nuts. I guess I've run out of my streak of taking the highest grossing movies.
You could just take it blind and just put in wild card, man.
I could,
fine.
but I haven't seen it. It'd feel like cheating.
Yeah. Go for it.
I'm going to go into the horror category, and I'm going to go with a last night award winner for Demi Moore. I'm going to take The Substance.
Nice. Shane is fucking dying in the middle seat right now. He's just getting crushed. You're like the bridesmaid to every pick. But Stu, speak on it, man. I love that Demi Moore one.
Yeah, I love The Substance, and it goes in a year where I think there were so many movies that had great first and second acts and then kind of petered out a little bit in the third. The Substance was a movie where for the first two acts, I sat there thinking, this is a really good movie. And then the third act happened, and I was like, this is an amazing movie. Because I love how gonzo banana pants it gets in the third act. I absolutely became enamored with it at that point. So yeah, I just loved it. Margaret Qualley and Demi Moore put on such good performances in this. I'm so happy to see Demi Moore getting her roses for her performance here. So yeah, definitely taking this for horror. Whenever you took Nosferatu, I was a little concerned this is what you were going to take instead. I'm glad it's still here.
Yeah. And honestly, it might have been, considering the options, it was high on my horror sci-fi list. But I'll tell you, no matter how you feel about the end of that movie, it was still one of my favorite things during New Year's that someone sent me the fake ticket thing for the New Year's Eve celebration with Margaret Qualley's character. And I was like, that is the best thing I've ever seen. So wonderful thing, at least gave me a good laugh right at the end of the year. But yeah, congrats to Demi Moore. Great speech last night. I think she went from like, is she going to be nominated at the Oscars to like, she might be the front runner now. And that's just not recency bias with just that. But it also is like, because the Globes are a very international body, and it's an international critical body. And it's hard to know. It made a lot of money overseas. It made more overseas than it did domestically. And it was a pretty, I don't want to call it a sensation here, but for like low budget horror, it made like a lot of money. But to see a critical body like this give her the award, let alone nominate her, and her to make that amazing speech, I think she's now vaulted herself up pretty high, especially considering the people she beat along the way. So I think that's a huge win for her and for a very well-deserved movie. A lot of fun. Shane?
I'd be thrilled to see her win an Oscar for this. I don't think it'll happen, but I think I would be thrilling to see it happen.
You know what? I would want to see it not only just for her, because again, she made a lot of good points about, people tried to make her just a populist actress back in the day. She, didn't know what to do with her career at some points and was at a low point and then got this and knocked it out of the park. But I also think like there's been so many horror performances that have been so good over the years that weren't even nominated. Like, I don't want to fucking make Shane's head explode, but like a lot of people were banging the table for Toni Collette in Hereditary. A lot of people were like for Lupita Nyong'o in Us that year. Like there's been so many ones for like horror over the years that they were like, why aren't there more nominations? Why isn't there more recognition? And I think The Substance, especially in maybe a potentially weaker year, could really buck the trend, and maybe that'll start something going forward. I would really like it for that as well. Shane, you're up, buddy. Okay. After us killing you on either side,
so,
apparently.
I'm dead here, so I'm going to give my most unenthusiastic pick here. And, like, seriously, in the awards category, because it was nominated for an award in a category. So
that's all it takes, buddy.
Yeah. I'm going to go with The Real Pain.
Okay, yeah.
Saw this in December. Jesse Eisenberg, Kieran Culkin, and I did enjoy the movie. It's another movie that wasn't on my radar till Andrew started talking it up, and thank God for those 9:20 a.m. showings on Sundays here.
Yeah,
I was like, I'll go check it out, and I actually just really enjoyed the chemistry between Culkin and Eisenberg. Sometimes Eisenberg can kind of wear on me because he kind of plays the same damn character all the time, and that does wear on me, but not in this film.
Right.
And Culkin, again, kind of carried the movie, and it's a great character study between the two cousins. taking the trip to Poland and all that. So yeah, I did enjoy it, and mainly because of Culkin's crazy performance. So yeah, I'm going to give the nod because I don't have anyone else to give it to in the awards category. I'm going with The Real Pain.
Nice. Yeah, a movie that I enjoyed. I didn't understand for such a small movie, and Culkin's like on fire. This, very over the top character. I like this movie. It's just one of those that I didn't understand. Like, oh, this is a Best Picture movie. So I always like get a little tossed with that. But the movie is a very good commentary and a lot of stuff with, mental health and. The grieving process and family drama and everything else. It's got a lot of nice things mixed in. It was so much better than Jesse Eisenberg's first movie that it was such a step up that I was impressed by that. But definitely, I like Culkin won last night. I think it has a possibility on original screenplay, some other things with award stuff going forward. So I'm sure we'll be talking about this in some regard for the next couple months before the Oscars are done with that. I am up. I have 2. I think I will. God, how much do I want Shane to punch me in the face?
No, I think I'm good now. I don't think you guys are going to snake any of my other picks unless you're going to take Godzilla.
See, you keep saying Godzilla. Godzilla what?
Godzilla and Kong.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I keep thinking like -1 is like the only Godzilla movie I've loved recently.
It's not.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. Wow, you're going to take... I almost want to take this pick now to be like, really? You were going to take Godzilla over this? Shit. I might have to do that to you. Good God. But then I can't say, I don't think anyone's going to take my other stuff, so might as well. In Wildcard, I'm going to take Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. And you were going to take Godzilla over Furiosa after we, both gave it, 4.5s or whatever?
Yeah, you got me there.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
Hell, I thought even Alien Romulus was going to be higher than that for you.
Well, hey, let's not put the carrot before the cart or the cart before the carrot, they say.
I'm trying
I think
to
the
help
carrot goes
now.
before the cart.
Okay,
that's
all
where
right. I just
carrots
want to make
go.
sure, right? Yeah, right, before the cart.
I am just trying to help. But yeah, because again, that's why I kept saying, it's horror sci-fi, right? To try to lean into. As you're drinking from the Furiosa cup. Wow. Amazing. That's hilarious. But yeah, Furiosa, God, it was again another one of these movies where it was like, God, it's still such an amazing epic that's so much fun and just shot the shit out of it. The action's incredible. Even the side characters were more impressive than I thought. I think the world building was just as good as a lot of the Mad Max stories before. You could make an argument, obviously Fury Road is the one that people just go crazy for. And if it's not that, then somebody usually has a coin toss between the original and Road Warrior. And I think this movie is just as good, at least of like we were saying, Road Warrior, or even your coin toss of the original Mad Max or Fury Road. I think it's a welcomed addition and almost as good or in that range of quality. And I don't know. I don't know why people slept on this. I don't know why it was in that corridor of this movie and Fall Guy underperforming, made the world shake. Where people were like, oh, I guess nobody likes blockbusters anymore. We're all fucked and the summer's screwed. It's this huge note. But yeah, I don't know why. Because again, the critical scores were good. And yet some people are just there's no Mad Max in this Mad Max movie. What's going on here? I'm not gonna check out. What's that, lady? I don't like it. But it's Fury Road was half not his movie. So anyway, I really like this movie. I'm glad to have it here this late in the game. So Furiosa, a Mad Max saga in my wild card. Right. So I get one more, right?
Yep.
Yep.
The turn always messes me up. All right. So that leaves me with the categories of comedy, animated, comic book, and streaming originals. I'm going to go in comedy, and I'm going to pick My Old Ass in comedy. I really enjoyed this movie. It was a sweet movie. It's a movie that you thought was going to have way more Aubrey Plaza in it, but once the movie started rocking and rolling, I thought, great, like this is showing us an actress, a young actress that I didn't really know before, and just told a really delicate story about family drama stuff, coming out, learning who you are, obviously just loss being like this huge thing, what it means to grow up, how to what we appreciate from living in the moment and getting to know people, even if it breaks our heart. And that, like, while this movie didn't have a perfect ending to it, and the Aubrey Plaza stuff with her wasn't always effective, especially because it's very nicely like, oh, she was unavailable and then comes back and is kind of available. But I think this movie just works. There's tons of chemistry, very good performances, a very small movie that came out of Sundance again, that I just thought was so charming and just delightful. Just made me happy to see it. And, it's good to feel feelings, guys, every now and then. I know the rest of my list might think I'm the most broiest of bros. So I'm glad to add something like My Old Ass, which I truly enjoyed. So I'll put that in comedy. So Shane, you are back up, my friend.
All right. So with the remaining categories that I have, I'm just going to have some fun here and just all Shane picks from here on out. So I'm going to go horror because this was like the deepest category of the year for me. And I would have picked Nosferatu, but this is tough for me and you're going to laugh, but I wanted to give some love to Abigail, but I'm not, okay? Because that was a fun movie. But I'm gonna go with a movie that I just floored me with the performance is in this film. I'm gonna go with Heretic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Hugh Grant. If all else, see this movie for Hugh Grant. The writing, the dialogue. I mean, just the first half and the second acts. I mean, just keep you on the edge of your seat. And that whole religion to monopoly thing, I still like just go for that in my head. That's so brilliant. Like that whole thing was just great. Now, we both agreed it didn't like perfectly land the plane in the third act, but it built enough equity with me in the first two acts. Like I just didn't really care. Like honestly, I just didn't care. And it's a movie that kind of what goes on to the third act kind of makes you think with the, people thought like with the whole two sisters or missionaries, it could have been a MacGuffin in the last act. But it makes you think maybe it was faith stepping in or a miracle stepping in. The only question I had was like, what the hell is Topher Grace doing in this movie? I think we both discussed that. Such weird casting for as many little scenes as he was in. But yeah, I'm going Heretic, man. Hugh Grant just knocked that out of the freaking park. I want to see him in more roles like this because he seemed just to eat it up, man.
Yeah.
So Heretic is my horror pick for this year.
Yeah, and Topher Grace also being in what looks like could be one of the worst movies of 2025 in Flight Plan. It just looks like he's just struggling. He wasn't he like one of the big gamblers in Ocean's 11 or whatever? Like maybe he has like a serious gambling problem that like just stemmed all the way back from like 25 years ago. So yeah, it's possible. But good pick, man. I agree with everything you said. We were in lockstep on that. And Grant, I thought he might have had a chance last night, but he didn't end up winning on that one, but was nominated at the Golden Globes. You could have stuck that one in awards contender too, buddy. So, but all right, Stu, you're up, buddy. You got two.
All right, I've got comedy, streaming, and wildcard left. Nobody's picking my comedy movie, so I'll take that with the last pick, and that's fine. And I'll pick it. You'll both go, what the hell are you talking about? But boy, I want to say for streaming, I will end up taking Netflix original It's What's Inside.
Yeah. That was on my, short list for horror sci-fi, and also, it's one of the better Netflix movies of the year. It wasn't in my top 5, but it was in my my top 10, I believe, with that as well. So, but a very good movie. So impressive. Again, they got it out of Sundance. Sundance keeps coming up in this conversation. Very good movie. But tell me what you liked about it.
Very reminiscent of another movie I liked from a couple years ago, Bodies, 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 where it's about a bunch of 20-somethings that get together and they're all spoiled, entitled brats, and you hate all of them, but they're getting together and they're going to play a game, and at least some of them are going to get their comeuppance, which is always good to see. Yeah. I didn't like this as much as I liked Bodies, 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 but I like the twist that it takes about halfway through where you're watching this movie and you go, oh shit, they can't come back from this. Yeah. This isn't something that they're just going to switch all their bodies back and everything's going to be fine at the end of it. Like there's a big moment halfway through the movie where you go like, oh shit, okay, big ramifications for what they're doing. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. It was a good sit down and watch for a movie. And I like, they're all no-name actors, at least with Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. You had Maria Bakalova and Rachel Sennett. In this movie, I didn't know a damn one of these people before watching it before. And so It was a nice introduction to all these actors where they got to really embody their character for me instead of being like, oh, it's that person. So just really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, I always get scared with body swap movies because they either are just like too convenient or not, like it's all about the trickery. It's just like it's too simple, it's too whatever, like it just, or it gets too confusing. And this movie, I will admit, I think we said it when we were on the podcast, like I had to like write down at the end of like a chart of like, all right, so this person's in this person, oh, when this person died, this person like, oh yeah, it starts to get really screwy, but in a good way where you're like, oh, it's all it can confuse you, it can disorient you, but that's what the purpose of the movie is. It's supposed to like confuse everyone, trick everyone, and then it turns into like kind of almost a murder mystery of sorts. So it has a lot of of genre blending, but not in any annoying way. I thought in a more inventive way that I hadn't really seen before. So that was awesome.
And that would have been my other pick for streaming originals too. That was my second. That was number 2 on my list. Yeah,
it was number 2 on my list too. Thanks.
I thought, Shane, when you perked up, I think with I said to you last week where it was like there's not a lot of streaming originals this year that were good, especially outside of Netflix, and I think we're seeing that. But I've saw you like kind of perk up, like I know what I'm gonna do, and I was like, oh, is it some non-Netflix movie? And I was really digging, and I was just like. Because you guys both picked your streaming originals, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So I was looking out like, what the hell was not on Netflix that was the streaming original? And the only things I could come up with was You Love Suncoast, which was Hulu that came out of Sundance as well. And then
wouldn't My Old Ass have counted?
No, that wasn't. I saw that in theaters.
Oh, did you? Okay, I thought that was a streaming original.
That had a wide release. Yeah.
Okay.
And Caddo Lake we talked about. I was just like, okay. But yeah, like Netflix is just the only good streaming game in town. Especially like shout out to Amazon Prime for having the worst movie year I've ever seen as far as streaming originals. My God, it's terrible. Like Jackpot, Ricky Stenicki.
Brothers.
Brothers was terrible.
Yeah.
Brothers was terrible.
Brothers
so made my worst movies of the year list.
Awful.
And then trying to sell us on Red One as a theatrical release and then putting it on there. That was the greatest trick they pulled all year, I think. So good on them.
$150 million Red One.
Exactly, yeah. Hey, they made enough in theaters to probably warrant it, but good God. I don't know. Stu, you have a second, right?
Yep. I do. I'm going to go in wild card with a movie that came out this year that I didn't want to see and was completely prepared to hate. But it was another situation where my aunt and uncle called us up one weekend and they were like, we have extra tickets to this movie. Why don't you come see it with us? And I was like, all right, I'll see my family. We'll go out to eat. I'll see a movie. It'll probably suck, but fine, whatever. So I went out and I saw Alex Garland's Civil War. And I really ended up enjoying it because it was about the people in the war. It wasn't about the war, because the commercials, the trailer really lost me with the whole like Texas California alliance. And I was like, go fuck yourself, movie.
That's
Texas and California are not. Yeah. That's like the Donald Trump Kamala Harris alliance. It's never going to happen.
Right, yeah.
But whenever you go, and it's about these reporters going through the war and trying to get a story and trying to get to Washington, D.C. before terrible things happen. And it's about Kaylee Spaney's character, who was also great in Alien Romulus this year. She's a great up-and-coming actress.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I really ended up digging this humanizing story about these reporters. And the Jesse Plemons scenes that they gave away in the trailer are just as good whenever you see them in the context of the whole movie. So yeah, ended up being a really big fan of Civil War. I will throw that on for my wild card.
Great pick.
Yeah, I mean, I had some issues with it too, but yeah, the Plemons thing, I keep coming back to it. He was so good. That to me, and again, as we're in award season, that to me is the epitome of a supporting actor. Like someone who just came in, rocked the shit out of that movie, and then set it on its way. And that seems to stick with me more than like a lot of the other stuff that I've issue with. But it's a beautiful movie. Alex Garland always has amazing cinematography. He'll always leave you with something. But yeah, the Plemons thing was a standout for me on that one. Good pick by you. Shane, you are back up, sir.
All right, I'm going to kind of piggyback off Stu and do a little connect the dots here. I'm going to go on Blockbuster. And this was barely made the criteria because it made $105 million domestic. So, and no, it's not Godzilla and Kong as much as I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
But we're going to go back and dip our toes in the Kaylee Spaney pool. And I'm going Alien Romulus.
There you go.
I was going to save this. This is a struggle for my horror sci-fi category as well. I can't tell you how much I dug this movie. And before I saw this, I rewatched Covenant and I rewatched Prometheus. And this was an enjoyable kind of like back to the roots of the Alien franchise for me. And I'm not a big Fede Alvarez. Is that his name?
Fede Alvarez, yeah.
Yeah, Fede Alvarez. He's hit or miss. Like I like Don't Breathe, but really couldn't stand the Evil Dead rehashing he did. But he drew me in with the set designs, the production, cinematography, like that old, grimy, grainy feeling of a nice 1970s, 80s alien film, anchored by Kaylee Spaney. And maybe bring him up so I give him some love. David Johnson playing Andy. He stole the freaking movie as the AI on board, man. This was a good romp for me, and I thoroughly enjoyed it from start to finish. So I'm hoping they could kind of build off of this movie. I know they got a show coming up, I don't know, next year on FX, Alien World or something like that. So
I thought it was Alien Earth or something.
Alien Earth, something like that. But no, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, and I'm glad it did as well as it did for Alien, whatever part we're in, 6, 7. And really, Scott, I dare say, can learn something from this freaking movie because his last two movies sucked in the Alien franchise. Not, so yeah. Alien Romulus in my Blockbuster, barely squeaking in with the $105 million.
Yeah. No, good pick by you. You're right. You hit all the points. I'm not going to belabor that one. But yeah, Kaylee Spaney, amazing. Like, I really liked her in Priscilla the year before, too. So she's on a heater right now. I don't know what she has next, but she's one of those people. She's getting close to, like, season ticket category. But she is really popping out there in terms of that. We are down to what are these my last two picks? I think that's right. So for streaming original, I guess I have to pick my number one for my Netflix original movie top 5 that I did. The big winner from last night, Amelia Perez. I'm going to pick that in this category. It premiered at Cannes. Ahead of like a massive fall festival run. It's obviously doing great. Writer-director Jacques Audiard, who is a huge director, French director in Europe, who's kind of getting beat up a little bit for the people who don't absolutely love this movie for being a French director, hiring non-Mexican people to play in a Mexican set thing and all this stuff. But that's just, it's nonsense. I mean, like, this movie is so much movie. It is a musical. It is a crime film. It is an LGBTQ movie. It's a comedy. There's a lot of fun, and there's musical numbers all over the place. And, it ends more as like the action crime thriller, which you wouldn't think about in a movie like this. But it's a genre explosion that just works for me. So many good performances, as you could see. They had three of the big three of their Selena Gomez, Zoe Saldana, and Gascon also being nominated last night at the Golden Globes, with Saldana winning. It's just a movie that I think I said to Shane after I saw it at the Woodstock Film Festival. After the first 35 minutes, I was like, the fuck is this movie? What's the point of this movie? And I very rarely am so turned around within the context of a movie, where it's an impressive movie about tragedy and loss and finding yourself, but what you can't leave behind, when you think you can just leave everything that was your old self behind, and the price you're going to pay for it. And just, it's so much. It's so many, like we were talking about the genre blending and the genre explosion of like, it's what's inside. I think Amelia Perez is a different version of that. And I'm glad to see it doing well in the awards circuit, and we'll see. I mean, it's not one of my top 5 movies of the year, but it is the best Netflix original and probably one of its best chances at getting serious awards consideration going forward here the next couple months. So Amelia Perez for me. And I doubt either of you saw it.
I didn't see it. Until last night, the only context in which I'd heard of Amelia Perez was controversy over the casting of Selena Gomez.
Right.
That's the only thing I'd heard of until it started winning awards last night.
Yeah, it's amazing how well it did last night for a movie that's really polarizing to a lot of people. Again, depending on like I said, the casting of non-Mexican people in big prominent stories in this Mexican thing, but and by a French director, and it was an opera to start, and then he converted it. It's a lot of things, and so I can definitely see someone hating this movie as easily loving it. But in the room, it got a great ovation, and I really liked it when I saw it at a film festival.
I did try to watch it, but I never made it to your magical 35-minute mark. After about the third song within the first 20 minutes, I was like, I'm out. I'm out.
It's a musical in Spanish.
I can't do it. So, I can't do it. So
it's a lot. It's a lot for people. And my last pick, because you guys vultured the crap out of animated, is going to be something. I guess I'm down to. I'm going to go again. Netflix, although it's close. There's actually 2 Netflix ones and a studio one, all around similar quality, but probably this one I liked the most for most of the year. Orion in the Dark. This is written by one of my favorite writer-directors, Charlie Kaufman. Of course, they like Being John Malkovich and Adaptation and so many others. This is a very interesting story about a kid with a lot of anxiety, being afraid of the dark, and the dark ends up being turned into an actual character called the Dark, that he shows what they do at night and why the dark exists, and all this magical stuff with it, plus as like a family story where you get to see that kid who was scared tell his kids not to be afraid of the dark, in this whole like cyclical thing. I thought it was a brilliant script for like a small animated film on Netflix, and it happened so early in the year. And obviously things like The Wild Robot and Inside Out 2 are going to be the big stories of the year. But I thought this was amazing, and I definitely recommend people check that out. Again, it didn't make my top 5 Netflix, but it was on my top 10 like long list honorable mentions. So I will take Orion in the Dark in animated / comic book.
All right.
So Shane, you got
what do you got for left? Me, buddy? Wild card, and I'm just gonna put this in there because it's my list and it's my movie, and
you made it. Okay.
Yeah, I made it. I'm gonna give it some love because not a lot of people saw this movie. It probably was in theater for like 2 weeks, and it's the best action movie I've seen all year, and that is Boy Kills World. I
I
absolutely
love Boy Kills World.
I
It's really good. It's
Yes.
really good.
Thank you, Stu. I absolutely love this movie. I just saw crazy trailers for it, and I was like, you know what? I'm in. Again, came out earlier in the year. Skarsgård, again, outside of The Crow. It's killing it this year.
Yeah.
We won't mention The Crow, even though I just did.
You could have got it on comic book, right?
Yeah, but Jessica Roth, who I love from Happy Death Day, Charlito Carlo, I can't pronounce his name. You know what I'm talking about, right? Sorry. Sharlto Copley, voiced by H.
Mm-hmm.
H. John Benjamin, Famke Jensen. This is like, it's funny. It's like the action is just like nonstop. I mean, it's such a fun movie, and for some people, like his inside voice of Benjamin may throw you off, but they kind of explain it, and like once you know, like you get synced into it. But like I had like the best time with this movie in the theater, and it's unfortunate this came around like the same time like Monkey Man did, and to me, I enjoyed this like 100-fold over Monkey Man. And kudos to Skarsgård and the cheese grater scene and just everything.
Oh,
yeah, it was so funny, and it had a better story than I thought once you saw the twist come on towards the third act, and just nothing but just crazy, actiony fun. So I'm giving some love to Boy Kills World, and if you haven't seen it, it's on Hulu, people, right now. So go check it out.
Yeah, it's definitely a movie that I thought got better as it went along. I enjoyed the family story with the sister as it, kind of got into the end of the movie, and yeah, it just so many. Once you mentioned cheese graters, it brought me right back to that moment. Just killer stuff, but yeah, amazing action, good fun movie. So good pick by you, Stu. You have one left, or what? What do you got?
I have one left for comedy.
Okay,
All right.
Let's do it.
This is going to be my If You Know, You Know movie. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not. If you haven't, it's on Tubi. I can't recommend it enough. It is my number 2 movie on the year.
Wow.
It is my second favorite movie of the entire year. It is called Hundreds of Beavers.
Oh, yeah. I've been meaning to watch this forever. Yeah. No,
it is so good. It's one of those movies that I saw, and for the first 20 to 30 minutes of watching it, I was thinking, what is this? Why is this happening to me? And then I loved it so much. After once you get on board with it, it's essentially a live action Looney Tunes movie is what it is.
It's a silent film, right?
There's a little bit of dialogue, like not much, maybe literally like 2 or 3 lines the whole movie. But yeah, the characters don't talk. It's a lot of sound effects, a lot of music and everything. It's absolutely hilarious. It's incredibly creative. I can't say enough superlatives about this. I've been over other people's houses and I've been like, that's it. We have to watch Hundreds of Beavers because it's that good. Other people need to know about this movie. So yeah, I knew no one was going to take this. So I snuck it in at the end for my comedy pick, Hundreds of Beavers.
It's been on my watch list all fucking year, and I still haven't watched it yet. There's so many movies. Like, Shane and I, are probably, I don't know what you landed on a number because it's still going, obviously, because of the award stuff coming out so late, but I'm probably like in the 140s now, and it's like, and I still didn't get to Hundreds of Beavers.
Yeah, I ended the calendar year at 143.
Yeah.
So, but it's on my list. Like, I was doing research for this show, and I was looking for comedies, and it kept coming up. I'm like, okay, so I actually wrote it down. So now that I know it's on Tubi, I will check it out.
Yeah, because you love commercials. No, just kidding.
Listen, I don't hate them like some people, because I remember it was like you all do growing up watching commercials, man. Like, it doesn't bother me. It's a good bathroom breaker. Refill my Furiosa cup with some nice water. So
there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
It might still be on Prime. It was on Prime forever. So I would check there too.
To rent, not like
for
free.
To watch. Yeah, no.
Oh, really?
Like included with Prime. It was on there
I didn't
forever.
know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So check there too. But again, nowadays everybody got looped into commercials there too for a while, unless you andied up. So whatever.
Yeah, no, we have the commercial version of Prime. We're not paying extra for that.
Exactly. Especially when you're feeding me Jackpot. Go fuck yourself. I am not. Although when we get to TV, they have a lot better stuff there. So kudos to them. But good job, guys. Like, we nailed it. We got through in like a little over an hour. That's incredible work,
It
guys.
is.
You know. But I think because we probably didn't have to hem and haw through these deep lists, especially Shane, who was M&F-ing us left and right, like he just had to keep going down to the next list, next checklist. So good for you. How do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about your lists?
I like my list. I would watch all these movies again. I've got Blockbuster, Inside Out 2, great movie. Awards contender, Wicked. You guys didn't like it, but I was a fan. Comedy, Hundreds of Beavers. Just talked about horror, sci-fi, The Substance. Just won Best Actress last night. Animated comic book. I took Deadpool and Wolverine, which I saw twice. Streaming, It's What's Inside, which you gave props to. And I said it's pretty good. And wild card, I got Civil War, which I couldn't fit in anywhere else. I'm happy with my list.
Yeah, you literally went full, like, 4-quadrant. Like, every kind of, like, animated, like, kid, family-friendly, like, all the way through body horror and, like, the world going into Civil War collapse. So, yeah, good stuff.
And whatever the hell Hundreds of Beavers is.
Yes, that's too, yeah. Ran the gamut for sure.
Yeah, no, I like my list outside of you taking Dune 2 off the top because... Again, my favorite movie of the year, and I was going to snake that for my awards. But no, I like giving shout-outs like to Thelma, like just the films that I really like that people like you with the 100 Beavers, like people need to check out for the sake of checking out. So I'm glad I got Boy Kills World in there, Thelma, and gave some love to Alien Romulus. So I feel like I did my job.
Is there any movies now that we're post this, like, how we like honorable mention, something you're like, oh man, I wish I could have gone. You got a couple there. Well, I'll go with our guests first.
Yeah.
Stu, what do you got?
So because The Substance was there, it's not actually my highest rated horror movie of the year, but I thought it would play the best in a draft.
Sure.
And then when I didn't get my number one horror movie, I almost took it for wild card, but decided to go with Civil War. My number one horror movie of the year is actually Late Night with the Devil.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's still like a borderline like top 25 movie for me. And that came out again like so long ago and was definitely one of the better horror movies of the year for sure.
And another probably unheard of movie that a lot of people haven't seen, I got a screener for earlier this year and just fell in love with, a movie called Here for Blood.
Oh no.
Which is it is about an independent pro wrestler whose girlfriend is a babysitter, but she has to study for midterm, so he goes and babysits this little girl for her. And these members of this cult try to break into the house to sacrifice the little girl, and this indie pro wrestler guy has to fight them off. It's very Evil Dead 2. Like, it's all one-liners and gore. It's really fun.
That's right up my alley.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's called Here for Blood.
Oh, I wrote it down.
Okay.
Do you know if it's I know you had a screener. Do you know if it's out anywhere?
I don't. I think it was coming to Screambox whenever I got the screener. I don't know where else it might be available.
Interesting. No, it sounds like a lot of fun, man. I'll have to check that out too. Shane, what do you got for like honorable mentions stuff?
Yeah, I'll give two films that I really liked, and they came out earlier in the year. One was Love Lies Bleeding, which came out like in February. Really enjoyed that film. Kristen Stewart, loved her performance, and I forget the bodybuilder's name. Sorry, but she was just
Katie
great.
O'Brien, right?
Yeah, and we're hoping that would break her out in some more roles.
Yeah,
going forward, just love that film. And Dee Dee, what film I mentioned earlier, man, I just fell in love with this movie. It's kind of like if you like mid 90s and that sort of thing, 8th grade. I thought this film was better than those two.
Yeah,
and it was funny, it was poignant, and it was just a great movie. And that's on Peacock right now. If you wanted to check that out, I think it was on Peacock for a long time. Yeah, so go check out Dee Dee. But yeah, those are the two that I wanted to give some love to.
And Dee Dee, to bookend this nicely, the audience award winner at Sundance. So, hey, everybody, Sundance online tickets go on sale in like 10 days. So maybe check that out and maybe catch some movies at home. That might be something that ends up in a draft next year. So be sure to check all that out. I got a couple too. We Live in Time. Was probably the best romance. Yeah. Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh, just so much emotion, such good performances. This movie had me riveted. I loved the back and forth, multiple timeline kind of storyline between how these people met. When Florence Pugh, she gets like a tough diagnosis in terms of her health. That is a thing that plays through the movie. And just, man, two excellent people. Like, as far as chemistry is concerned, Pugh and Garfield had one of the better performances I've seen in a while, let alone like of the year. So kudos to them, two of my favorite great young actors, who I thought this movie again should have been higher up in award stuff as time went on, but didn't end up being the case. And then I'll shout out The Order. Again, Nicholas Hoult, Jude Law, just fucking killing it, man. Like, an FBI agent out in the Pacific Northwest, just after a long career, this grizzled FBI guy who used to take down mobs in New York and has all these high-profile cases is now just in the middle of fucking nowhere, and there's a string of bank robberies that get tied to a white power hate group headed by Nicholas Hoult. And wow, yeah, just the head-on collision that comes out of that, the shrapnel that comes from like the families and the people he's with, and just it's just mayhem. And it's just a good old-fashioned, stick your fucking boot in the dirt and just try to take down a bad guy, and at all costs, a little, not like as hard grizzled or cartoonish as like a Charlie Bronson kind of thing or whatever, but it fits in with like just, I don't know, just this, like, it's just a man movie. Put some hair on your chest. You just want to drink whiskey and spin a gun while watching it. You know what I'm saying? It's a good time. I enjoyed it a lot, and it was one of my higher movies on the year. So, but you guys mentioned a lot of the stuff, whether it's your picks or your honorable mentions of some of my favorites of the year. So I think we did a great job kind of covering the entire field. Stu, before we get out of here, man, tell the people when your full list of all the things you enjoyed is coming out, and where people can find you and your wonderful podcast that I will be in 6 months.
Not quite 6 months. I want to say is it April 2nd? I want to say your episode comes out. Yeah,
I think you told me March 2 weeks ago. Jesus.
Well, it might be March. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. The episode I recorded yesterday was the April 12th episode. I can't remember if I recorded one in between yours and that one.
Unreal.
But yeah, so the website is SWOProductions.com. We have new articles every single weekday there. And yeah, for this year, we have on January 15th comes out number 30 through 21 of my top movies of the year. January 17th is going to be numbers 20 through 11. And then there's a big break because there's a bunch of other articles that I had already scheduled to come out. And then on January 29th is the final top 10, my top 10 movies of the year. And the podcast, again, is the Stu World Order podcast, where Andrew's going to be on. We review randomly drawn comic book movies.
Nice. Yeah. And we covered Deadpool like no one else, except somebody who did it back in 2016 or whatever the hell it came out. But I think we did an excellent job. I love being on that pod, man. I always love chatting it up with you. And you were great today, man. I appreciate you coming on. And, it's a blast, as always.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And, of course, we are ending the year of sorts. Right now, closing the book on 2024. We got some 2025 most anticipated stuff coming up. We got to close the door on TV for 2024. We got to do that coming up. But of course, as noted from the Golden Globes last night, the year of 2024 keeps on fucking going because there's going to be multiple awards films all released out through January. And Shane already put one in the books, I think, for a 2025 movie. So he's already hard at work building up his list. But thanks to everyone out there for listening. At Recent Act Pod on the socials. Be sure to like, subscribe. Join us for another huge year of movies coming out in 2025. And we'll see you next week on Recent Activity.